Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. T. So I am back from my retreat, and it has been life-changing. I would say it has been life-changing. I have learned so much about myself, about why I do certain things, and Alhamdulillah, I can teach my students and in the future create additional support and resources for you guys so that you can heal yourself as well. So while I was doing the process, it's called the Hoffman process, and I absolutely fell in love with that. One day I was just writing through my stuff, and then it came to my mind that I want to do a video when I come back on the 5 things that I learned as an autism brain development coach about autism recovery and brain development. So those 5 things, I'm pretty much sure you probably have never heard anywhere. Maybe one or two of them you have heard from me in the course of just following me in my YouTube journey or in my Instagram. But many of the things that I'm going to tell you today, it never occurred to you. So yeah, sit tight, hold on to your chair, because it's going to be a big, epic, mind-blowing, journey to understanding who you are, what your child is, and what you can do, and how you can actually bring back success for your child, like life back to your child. Okay? All right. You ready? Let's go. Number 1. This is for the parents of kids who harm themselves or harm others. Okay? Self-harming or harming others kids. Number 1 point. Angry parents. I'm actually scared of saying that because I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty. I'm saying this to create awareness, okay? So angry parents have self-harming kids. So if you are vindictive to yourself, if you have a lot of anger internalized towards yourself or others that you haven't expressed, and you have a lot of anger hidden inside of your body, you are angry about something that has happened in the past or something that is happening currently, but you are not expressing that anger. So what happens is when you internalize those angers, you pass on your anger as a generational legacy to your kids. Just like you pass on genetic diseases, you can pass on emotional trauma as well. So if you don't do the inner work, if you don't sit down and forgive the other person and make peace with your past, make peace with what is making you angry, what is making you upset, or self-harming, self-flagellation, and all of those things, then what's happening is you internalizing that pain is going to be transferred to your child, and your child, not knowing, not understanding what the heck is going on, he will try to harm himself or harm others because there are patterns of those things residing inside of you. So my son Muhammad is actually a very calm and gentle child, but he was extremely self-harming. Whenever he would get angry, he would beat the shit out of himself and he would bang his head. One time he broke his arm, and then he would also throw my other child from her crib. Okay? And I was like, where is he getting all of this anger from? Because I am not angry. I'm not an angry person. I'm actually a pretty chill person. Well, my husband then, told me that at one point in his life, he was an extremely angry person. He was very angry. He would break things. He would hit things. My husband actually broke one of his, arm bone by trying to hit the wall, but because he was so angry at his parents. Then I was like, very good. That's how he got his anger from. And while I was doing this Hoffman process, I found out that I was actually holding on to a lot of anger myself. A lot of anger towards my parents, towards my community, towards my friends, towards a lot of the family members and things like that, and towards a lot of the things that has happened to me in the past. No wonder when both me and my husband were angry, there were internalized anger and pain, and I was self-victimizing myself, like self-vindictive to myself. No wonder I passed on to that to my son in a very bigger proportion which was reflected by his behavior. Because our kids, they are our mirrors. God creates humans, kidlings, as a mirror to the adult humans, okay? So that we can understand what we are lacking in, so that we can understand our, where we are giving off our powers, and we can heal those things of ourselves. The second point, you need to accept autism to be able to empower autism. Okay, so autism acceptance is not that, okay, I love my child, I don't want to help him, I don't need to help him, I don't need to do anything, I don't need to do any therapies, I don't need to change his diet, I don't need to do any detox, I don't need to do any of the things except just love my child and accept him banging his head, accept him pooping blood, accept him not being able to sleep just because he's autistic, because I want to love my child, because I was not loved when I was young. So I want to, a part of me who did not have the love and acceptance from our parents, we try to project that to our child. So anything that has happened to you in the past, you actually project that to the world. So if I was not accepted as my child, which was what happened to me in the initial stages, by the way, I was accepting Muhammad's all faults and all problems. Okay, I was accepting his banging, I was accepting everything, because I was not accepted the way I was by my parents. So I decided I'm gonna be a better mom than my mom, and I'm gonna accept Muhammad with all of his troubles and struggles. But then what happened was, I could see that me accepting his problems were not helping him, because he was still struggling, he was still depressed and upset and angry and frustrated, because he could not share his needs, because he could not talk. And that created rift inside of him. And that is what I was like, okay, it's not working. Just blindly accepting your child's problems is not gonna help your child. What is gonna help your child is accepting the problem, accepting your responsibility, which is gonna be point number 3. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it later. But accepting the autism, accepting the diagnosis, first is important, yes, so that you can keep on moving forward. But acceptance does not mean not doing anything. Accepting autism means I accept the diagnosis, I accept that my child needs extra support, my child is different, and I'm gonna take responsibility in doing everything that I have to do, I can do, I must do, so that the child gets a better opportunity of being a adult human being in future. Okay? All right, so third point. There is magic in accepting responsibility for the healing of your child, so that it transcends any other process or program or protocol or course that you're going to do for your child, or therapies that you're going to do for your child. Okay, so what do I mean by there is a magic with accepting responsibility? So we are 100% responsible for our life 100% of the time. When we say that my husband doesn't want to give me the money so that I can spend on my child's, supplements or course and things like that, what I'm essentially doing is I'm giving my power away to my husband. I am telling myself and the world that I'm a victim. And when we are saying that we don't have the power, what we are doing is we are denying love to ourselves. We are denying love to our kids. We are also taking away the power from our other person, that we are thinking that the other person is victimizing us. Does that make sense? What I'm essentially saying is, when you accept responsibility, you feel openness in your body. When I was doing the process, I asked my teacher, like, how do we know that the decision that I'm going to make is right or wrong? She said, honey, the only thing that you need to do is calm yourself down, center your body, and ask yourself the question. And when you ask yourself the question, like, should I choose A or should I choose B? See the reaction in your body. So when you choose A, does it feel expansive or contracting? When you choose B, does it feel happy or sad? So whenever you are trying to accept responsibility, 100% of the time, I promise you, you will feel expansiveness, because you will feel like, I got power. When we accept responsibility of our child's improvements and healing, we actually get all our energy back. All the energy that we are giving to the autism, gurus, the energy that we're giving to the autism society, the autism community, the doctors, the pediatrician, the nurses, the pharmacist, the therapist, everybody, that the in-laws, the father, the husband, everybody that we are thinking that they are making the decision for us, we are giving our power away. We are actually always able to make our own decisions. It's just that you might not know how to make those old self decisions, okay? And if you would be interested in learning more about it, stay tuned, because inshallah this month we are gonna have a live coaching class with our coach, with my mindset coach, the person who is helping our students inside the 6MD and YLD courses to help with the students' mindset. So she is gonna come and she's gonna teach you a lot about mindset work, about taking responsibility, about doing the small steps that will help you to achieve success for yourself and your child in future. Okay, so stay tuned for that. All right, so wrapping up the magic in accepting responsibility, the last thing that I want to say for that point is, when I stopped blaming my in-laws for the nutritional deficiency, when I stopped blaming my husband for the lack of finance that he could bring to the home, when I stopped blaming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me an autistic kid, when I stopped blaming Canada, Bangladesh, the government for not helping me during the pandemic, I was able to help my son, help him recover his struggles, and build this Autism Success Academy. All of the things that you see came from accepting the responsibility that I get to choose what happens to my child from today onwards. This, everything that you are seeing, would have never come if I was that same Tasnuva 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago, crying that she doesn't have anything, no money, no prospect, no understanding, no research on how to level up with autism. Okay? All right. So, point number 4 that I have understood or learned as an as a autism brain development coach is this: sometimes certain parts of the protocol or whatever that you are following, especially the one that we do, may not resonate with you, but you should still stick with it and give it your best shot and see how far you can go with that. So let's take therapies. So you do therapy 2 or 3 times, and then you think you understand that it's not working for your child because the therapies could not really connect the dot and answer your question. So you change, and that's okay. But maybe you go to a program, you go to a naturopath, you go to a homeopathic doctor, and then you start trying 1 or 2 session, or 5 session, and then you are like, this is not working. Or maybe I'll keep the homeopathy and now I will also do naturopathy. Then the same thing happens with the naturopathy, and then you think, okay, I'll do the biomedical at the same time. So there are some people who comes to me who are doing several treatments in one time. This point is actually for those people, okay? If you are somebody who's doing several things in one time, just remember this: you need to find the right protocol and the right person to deliver that right protocol, build in the right way for your child. So most strategies in the world actually works for everybody. Most protocols in the world, not everything, by the way, there are some shitty protocols, okay? Most protocols, most treatments, most solutions, most study, most everything that you can find works for every kids on the spectrum. It depends on A, the quality of the protocol, B, who is teaching the protocol and who made that protocol. Is it hard? Is it easier? Is it customizable for you? C, how in depth the protocol is going to really resolve the issues. Okay? So those are the few things that is necessary for you to understand. And by the way, I did make a video on how to choose the right treatment and the right coach, and I'm gonna link that in the description as well, so that you can go back and watch how we are doing things. Okay, how to choose a coach. That way what's gonna happen is you will have some idea on how to choose a treatment, and you're not gonna jump from biomed to naturopath to neuropath to a lot of things. Okay, so last point is we are healing the body, mind, and environment of the child. We are not curing autism. So when we say that we are recovering autism, that means we are actually helping the child overcome the struggles that makes others understand that your child is autistic. Okay? So when you are working on the brain development, you are helping the child overcome the delays and reach the developmental milestone based on the age, which is like age appropriate milestone. So when your child is having age appropriate milestones and he's not banging his head, he's able to talk, he doesn't have any physiological problem, he's sleeping, he's eating, he's pooping, then is your child still autistic? Well, yeah. But are others gonna make fun of your child? No. Are others gonna fear your child? No. Can you take your child to anywhere in the world and create any of the type of life that you want? Yes. Can your child become Einstein? Yes. Can your child go and become doctor? Yes. Your child can become anything and everything as long as your child can eat, sleep, talk, understand, communicate, and process things just like a human being. So neurodiverse brain and neurotypical brain, the little bit of difference is how much of certain neurotransmitters are created and lack of therewith. Okay, so when we are working on a child's brain, what we are essentially doing is we are helping the brain to function at its optimal best. And when the brain is functioning at its optimal best, the child is safe, secured, developing according to his age. And that is all that we want for your child and my child and every kids on the spectrum. Okay, so wrapping up the 5 things that I learned as working as an autism brain development coach with 55 different countries all over the world, 350 students. The 5 points are: number 1, if you are angry, your child will also be an angry child. Okay, angry parents have self-harming kids. Number 2, you need to accept autism to be able to empower autism. Number 3, there is magic in taking radical responsibility for your and your kids' improvements and healing. Number 4, sometimes certain parts of a protocol may not resonate with you, but as long as that protocol has proven that there is a big level of results that comes, and you just have to do the work. You just have to suck it up and do the work. Not give halfway up and then blame the coach, which has happened to us 3 times actually. And the last point, we are healing the mind, body, and environment of the autism child. We are not curing autism. We are just healing. And here's the thing. This is a beautiful thing that my healer taught me is feel it to heal it. Healing is the revealing of love, not curing it. Because when you are trying to cure autism, what you are trying to do is you are trying to find a strategy so that it does not come back, so that you don't have to feel the fear, the anxiety, the depression all over again. So that's why you are trying to cure autism. But when you heal autism, you feel like, okay, healing is like peeling the onions, okay? And the onion core is the day that you're gonna die. It is hard to accept. I have been struggling so much recently because I was like, I have been doing this inner work for 13 years and I'm tired and I don't want to work anymore on myself. I'm still struggling. I still have depression. Why? And then I did the Hoffman process. I'm gonna link link some of their links and things so that you can check. It's an expensive process, but it's gonna change your life. It's gonna give your whole family a new you, and you're gonna heal generational trauma in like 7 days. Yeah, it's that powerful. So she told me that we try to heal things. So I was trying to cure my mental health problems. That is why I was struggling. So when you are not trying to cure the disease or disorder, because here's the thing. Sometimes we are told that autism is not a disease because you cannot cure it. I agree. But even the diseases that we can cure, they can come back. You curing your throat infection, you can again contract throat infection by eating the same kind of cold food and not going to the cold spaces without proper insulation and things like that. So did you really cure your problem? No. So in one way, there is not much cure in the world. There is a need of healing. There is a need of healing everything so that we don't get tired of doing the work and can keep on moving forward, 1 foot at a time, 1 foot at a time. Okay, so let me know in the comments if this resonated with you, if the 5 things, if one or all 5 of them were new to you, or you knew about these things. Let's have more chatting. And don't forget that we are gonna drop something big on 25th as our Black Friday deal. First time in the history of Autism Success Academy, and we're gonna do something amazing. Keep your eyes peeled. I am leaving the registration link below so that you can register for it. You're not gonna hear from it from a video or anything like that. You have to do the registration so that I can email you the offer. Okay, so don't forget, check the description under the video and do what you need to do, and let's heal the world. I'll see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.